Great discussion about developers, Todd. So glad we dug into that. It kind of made me think about our early career. And actually, part of that early career was about working on a Scrum team, right? The camaraderie, the commotion, the delivery, a lot of that brings back some good memories. So let's dig into that, Todd. What is actually the Scrum team? What does that mean? How does that function?
Yeah, just make sure we're centered on the screen here. But the big thought, right? If you haven't noticed, each one of these, I'm blocking this one so we don't move it during this video. Each one of these has a big thought, and then we kind of decompose the big thought. So the big thought for the Scrum team is this is a cohesive unit of professionals focused on one objective at a time, the product goal, right? So when we say Scrum team means product owner, developers, and Scrum Master. Together, those three accountabilities equate to a Scrum team, which is a cohesive unit of professionals focused on one objective at a time.
So, from a structural perspective, let's talk about some guidance here first, and then kind of a rule. So, a Scrum team is typically 10 or less people. Now, that is guidance, right? So, keep that in mind. That is not a hard and fast rule. If you have 12 people on your Scrum team, you're delivering, the stakeholders are delighted, customers are pleased, keep doing what you're doing, you're winning, right? But the guidance here is 10 or less on a Scrum team. That includes the product owner and the Scrum Master. No sub teams or hierarchies. As we mentioned many times throughout the other videos, there are no hierarchies on a Scrum team. The product owner does not tell everyone what to do. The Scrum Master is not the manager. Everyone, they're equals on a Scrum team. There's no hierarchies and no sub teams, right? So there's no development team anymore. That was removed from the Scrum Guide. It is a flat hierarchy. It is all one team, unified within the Scrum team.
Yeah, I'm going to build on that, Ryan. Drop a sticky note here that says that they are responsible for all product-related activities. So this team, by the way, recommended team of 10 or less. If you have 12 people on your team, you could still be doing Scrum, right? It's just recommended as per the Scrum Guide. So be careful with that one. Responsible for all product-related activities, right? We've talked about the product owner. We think value with the product owner. We've talked about the developers. We think how and building and quality. We talked about the Scrum Master, upholding Scrum, right? Together and collectively, these three accountabilities are responsible for everything, every single thing you could possibly imagine as it relates to product activities.
That gets us back to the idea of cross-functional that we talked a little bit about in the developer video, but we mean it. This, as Todd said, they are responsible for all product-related activities. They do not rely or depend on other teams to deliver. We have all the skills needed on this team, the business skills, the technical skills, any other skills needed. We have those available and present on our Scrum team.
Yeah, including being able to build and think about quality. And this is where our level or definition of done is defined at the Scrum team level, right? At the Scrum team level, although there can be other circumstances surrounding around how you might define the definition of done. See the definition of done video for that, or actually that will be under increment. Sorry. So ownership and definition of the definition of done belongs to the Scrum team, Ryan.
I like it. Todd, I think that that idea of owning quality and delivery, a lot of this is building into this idea that they are self-managing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think we have to talk about the fact that a Scrum team is self-managing. They decide who does what, when it's done, and how it's going to be done. They own they own all of it. They decide the how. Like they cannot. It's very difficult. You will very rarely find a situation where it is right to tell a Scrum team what to do. Right? Between the product owner, Scrum Master, and developers, they have the authority, they have the accountability, and they're able to rightly decide what is the best next thing to do.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. And just to kind of rehash, right? Product owner, developers, and Scrum Master. When we say Scrum team, we mean those three accountabilities, Ryan.
We absolutely do. I think ultimately, Todd, being empowered, right? I think that's really where this discussion is going. Empowered to deliver the product. Mm-hmm. That's really what we're watching here. If I'm in a management or leadership role, I'm watching that very closely. If I'm a Scrum Master and I'm seeing a lack of empowerment, I'm reaching out to management and leadership to make sure that this can happen. If I'm a product owner who's investing in the creation of a product and I see a lack of empowerment, I'm addressing that, and I'm partnering with my Scrum Master. I'm partnering with the org because the investment is too important to put at risk because empowerment is lacking.
I love it. I think that's a Scrum team.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments in the community section. What do you think about the Scrum team? Are you currently able as a Scrum team to deliver without outside help? If not, what kind of dependencies do you have and how could you mitigate them? We'd love to see your ideas in the comments area, and we'll check those out as you add them. All right, when we come back, I think we're going to jump into the Scrum events, Todd.
Yep, sounds great. Looking forward to it.
See you there.